Hi, welcome back to I Need a Haircut. It's been a long time in quarantine. Hi, my name's Claire. I'm a rising junior at William & Mary. I'm wearing the shirt. William & Mary? Yeah, there it is. I am a CAMS, which is Computational and Applied Mathematics and Statistics major, which is about as pretentious as it sounds. And I'm also double majoring in economics. I also am an editor of the school newspaper, The Flat Hat. Shameless plug. There's a couple things that I keep seeing on the William & Mary subreddit or in the Facebook groups with freshmen really being concerned about certain issues. First of all, I want to say you'll be fine. I think before freshman year of college, everybody freaks out and thinks, oh, I have to have my entire college plan. A lot of college is going to be spontaneous, and you're going to change your mind a bunch about the classes you want to take and the clubs you want to be in and what you want to do with your life. And that's totally fine. That's totally normal. I would say that the twomp, the typical William & Mary person, really likes to have everything planned out. You just can't sometimes, and that's totally fine. So with that, I want to start off by saying, for freshmen, you can change your major at any time, and it's totally fine. I see a lot of freshmen coming into William & Mary who think that they know exactly what they want to study. And maybe you do. Maybe you are one of those people that thinks, I want to do IR, and then you go through all the IR classes and you love it and you keep doing IR and that's what you end up majoring in. That's relatively rare. For the vast majority of people, you're going to change your mind a couple of times. When I came in, I thought I was going to do government and computer science. And then I was like, no, I just want to do economics. And then I was like, no, I just want to do applied math. And now I'm CAMS in economics. That happens to a lot of people. Freshman year should be about taking classes that seem interesting to you. Doesn't matter if they're in the particular major that you think you're going to be, because honestly, you probably have no idea what the majors are actually like. So take a bunch of classes that are interesting to you and don't get bogged down in one path, even if it's what you told William & Mary on your application that you were going to be. I took an Origins of Christianity class my freshman year. That's a religious studies class. I wasn't even getting any useful credit for it, and it turned out to be one of my favorite classes, and it was really fun. Have fun with it, folks. It's not all about the studying and the William & Mary atmosphere, okay? It's just have a little fun with it. So the flip side of that is people wanting to know how to plan out your major. And that is a totally valid concern, because you look at all these course requirements. You got to do the Call 150, the Call 100, the Call 200, this language requirement, the arts requirement, all the major requirements. And that is kind of a lot to handle. So I would recommend, if you like spreadsheets, I love spreadsheets, put everything into a spreadsheet. I'll put a picture of mine up on the screen. So basically what I did was I listed all the credits I have coming in. I listed all the credits I want to accomplish for a bunch of different majors that I was interested in. So at first I literally had 10 columns for 10 different majors I was interested in and all the classes that would be required for those. And then also have a column for all the things that William & Mary requires that you take. So that's, the Call 200s, the Call 300, Call 400, any sort of language or math requirement. And then from there, you can sort of start planning out, okay, well, I see that I need to take this intro class before I take any of the advanced electives. So I'm going to take that one, fall freshman year. Start planning it out from there. I would not get bogged down in the details. Your tastes are going to change. Like I said before, you're probably going to change majors. You're probably going to change interests. Some things might end up just seeming too hard. I know that happens to me. And also, course availability is sometimes a struggle. So sometimes you really want to get into a class and it's just full by the time you have to sign up for it. So don't get stuck down in the specifics. Have a general plan. Success in classes. My advice would be, it's really important to get to know the people in some of your classes, because those are the people that are going to help you with homework assignments, with test studying, with group projects. So the first day you walk into the class, honestly, don't be embarrassed about it. Just sit down next to somebody who looks nice and introduce yourself and say hi, especially if it's another freshman. They want help as much as you do. Just try to make friends in your classes because they're going to help you out a lot. If they end up in the same major as you, it's really nice to know people in the same department. Another thing about getting to know people, I will give a piece of advice that worked for me. So when I was coming into college, I was really worried about balancing my time with all the classes and all the clubs and stuff. I like to be really involved and really busy, but I also like to have a little bit of free time, I think, like everybody. And one thing that helped me was I read somewhere you should have several categories of clubs. So I would say, for my advice, have at least one club that helps you professionally or gives you professional skills. If you're in computer science, maybe join ACM, or if you are a IR kid, maybe join IR club, or if you're into writing, join the Flat Hat. Shameless plug. And also have at least one club that is just something that you think is fun. I do color guard, I'm in Tribe Guard, another shout out, and I also run a calligraphy club on campus, and that is not really teaching me a valuable skill, although it is on my resume, so there's that, but it is mostly just something that I do for fun, and I think that's really important, because if you spend all your time worried about what you're doing for your resume, that's not gonna give you a very fun time in college. You're gonna be a sad person spending all their time in swim. I know, because I've been there, and don't do that. That would be another piece of advice, and this is probably my key piece of advice, is that people at William & Mary have the tendency to spend all their time in swim. You'll have maybe 2 assignments, and you think, I'm gonna go with my friends to swim, and we're gonna sit there for 5 hours until it is done. And you end up just wasting a lot of time chatting, sending memes in the group me, I know how it is, and you actually don't get a lot done. I would really advise against this, because once you get those kind of poor study habits set freshman year, it's going to be really hard to change them later on. What I would recommend is to be ruthlessly efficient with your work. If you sit down to write an essay and you're with your friends and you're chatting back and forth, it's going to take you hours and hours to write it. If you sit down by yourself, cup of coffee, laptop, and just go for it, you're going to get it done so fast, and you're going to have way more time to do the things that you actually care about. So don't get into this fake studying, spending hours at swim thing that a lot of people do. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Miscellaneous tips. Okay, this is the miscellaneous tips section that I don't know, that I don't have anything else for. If you're in a freshman dorm that doesn't have AC, which is pretty much all of them, for the love of God, bring a fan, because the lack of AC in the swamp is horrendous. Please bring a fan. Also, when it rains, you will need rain boots. So buy rain boots if you don't have them, because there is like a biblical level of flooding when it rains. And if you don't want to be walking around in soggy socks all day, you will need rain boots. Also, final piece of advice. I saved this for the end so the YouTube police don't come after me. I don't know. Textbooks are expensive, folks. They're very expensive, and you should definitely buy them full price from the bookstore, and you definitely should not pirate them. Definitely don't pirate them from these websites that I might be listing on the screen right now. Definitely buy them full price and use your hard-earned money to buy textbooks that you will use for 2 readings and then throw away and never use ever again. Anyway, and then my final piece of advice is just, you'll be okay. We'll get through it. I know it's a little uncertain with the pandemic, the global pandemic that's happening. It's going to be weird. None of us really know what's going on, so some of this advice may or may not be useful depending on what our semester looks like. I wrote an article about how to get work done effectively remotely. I think pretty much every class on campus is going to have some sort of remote component, so you're going to have to know how to get work done from home, and if you're not used to that, it is a bit of an adjustment. So I'm going to drop that link in the description below. So thank you for watching. This, again, was mostly to test my microphone setup, so hopefully the sound sounds good, but maybe it was also helpful advice. I don't know. You'll have a great semester. Just take a deep breath. It'll be okay. I promise.